Howdy, 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 ho. Oh, before I open that, welcome everybody. Sorry. Welcome. I'm Trooper 6. Welcome to Let's Paint. And we got Reichland Flesh Shade. Why the hell do we have this out? Well, I decided spur of the moment. We're going to cover the base. Alright, because you know that we had done it with the Astra Militarum to try to give a midnight look and dry brushing and all that stuff. And it wasn't necessarily coming out how I wanted it to come out. So, what we're going to do here is grab this, which is basically just a brown wash. If you want to boil it down to whatever, just simplify it for the masses. It's just a brown wash. And it's kind of gross. It's kind of a gross tone to it. Alright, but we're going all over it. You know, it'll stain all of the highlights that we did. And it'll change the tone of the skulls. Make them look more bone. Nice little trick. I love that trick. But you see, what I'm doing here is I'm making it thicker at the bottom, and then I'm going toward the top. Just to give that subtle color change. Just to give it the subtleness. I want the rest of it to kind of do its thing. You know, because the rock is not necessarily going to be the same as all of that. So we're just doing this. Alright. So our Mega Man stuff is finally up. Alright, what are we going to put on next? You know what? Why bother leaving Mega Man right now? We're on a roll. You guys know where I went. If we're not on the jazz, we're on something else. Okay. Okay. So, now that we've actually done more or less everything we need to do, I'm still not the most pleased with the cape, only because everything else has a lot going on, right? So we are going to try something here, and I swear this better work. This better work. Whew. We've got this, and it's not a color I use often. And it's usually because it comes out way too thin. It's not a technical paint, but it's not a paint that I enjoy. I don't use lava orange much. So we'll see. Let me get a napkin this time instead of my goddamn arm. Alright, not that it matters. And we're going to have this because we still have some transfers to do. Now, the longest this series can go on is, I think, 8 episodes is about the most I will make for thumbnails. Ooh. Oh, this might actually work. Woo! Oh, it's... Oh. When your experimentation turns out in your favor, oh, it gives you such elation, and it makes you pull stupid ass voices. Oh yeah, look at that. Oops. As I get carried away. Yeah, as we get carried away, we knock off a chunk of the fucking paint. Dumbass! But that's okay. This orange is fucking awesome. And with how chalky it's starting to come out, that is okay. You know why? Do you know why that's okay? It's because it's cloth. We're doing cloth, and it can have some texture to it. That is okay to do. It is perfectly okay. Now, if it ends up looking terrible. Honestly, it won't be okay. Damn. Alright. Alright, we're done there. We're done there. Because then all the Nuln Oil will bring that right back together. Hopefully it won't oversaturate everything. But with that being done, what do you say we start to put them together a little bit, huh? All right. Oh my God, I don't have my glue. Let me get my glue. Son of a bitch. Son of a monkey nut. Whew. Daughter of a southbound pachyderm. What the fuck is going on with us? Also, I don't understand what that last one was. What I just said there. We also forgot to do that. So, all right. We're stopping once more. Get the black. Get your matte black. I would say it shouldn't technically matter, but yeah, it's going to matter. Get your matte black. And that is not the brush. Is that the brush? That is the brush. Okay. You're going to get your matte black. Just want to make sure there's not too much. Oh, I don't need you. I need you. All right. I'm going to try to keep this in frame for you guys. So, we're not going to go with it. We're going to go against the grooves. All right. Because you want to catch those. If you go with it, you have the risk and the likelihood of the paint just going in between everything. And it won't look right. All right. So it's very subtle, it's very thin, and we're going to leave it that way. Because now we're going to do the rim. And we're only doing the bottom of the rim. Because the rest of it needs to stay the metal. All right. All right. Because honestly, when you go with that matte black around the rim like that, at least in my opinion, it kind of looks like it is, you know, burnt metal. You know, the color is not there anymore. It looks almost ever so slightly chalky. And it just looks worn. All right. Not too shabby, not too shabby, but we're done there. I'm gonna give you a second because I usually put on the backpack last, just for things to fit. All right. Now, when it comes to heads that have pegs on them on the bottom so that they could fit into a neck slot, that stuff is usually not my cup of tea, and I will usually cut them off. But I do know that this is a very specific pose, so I am going to leave it on there. All right, now, okay, because his head can't turn but so much, so you know he's just looking out the corner of that eye, just making a very dramatic pose to fucking shoot whoever it is. So, all right, let's get. Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. I can't keep messing with this for too long. Come on. Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You just want to be a dick, don't you? Don't you? This tacky stuff wants to barely hold on when we're priming shit. But nah, not when we're pulling it off of you. You fucker. You fucker. It's whatever. People will probably yell, well, you're not using gloves either, and blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, you're right. Just getting at a blob of that, and it'll sink right into that recess as well. And that'll sit exactly where they want it to sit. And the same thing with this one. We're just going to put a blob, bloop, and it'll sink into that recess. And that will sink exactly where they want that to sit. And look at that. Look at that shit. And now we have room for the backpack. I like doing the backpack last, like I said, because usually it comes down to a fitting problem. There have been times where I put on a backpack and then I go to put on the shoulders and oops. And there have been times where I'm putting on the backpack last and it's bumping into the shoulders and moving them and knocking them off. And I'm like, god damn it. But here is more or less what he's looking like. Not too bad. Not too bad. But we still have some things that we need to do here, right? Okay. So, basically it's the parchment. And you guys know my trick when it comes to the parchment. I get my Faber-Castell, whatever you want to call it. I get my felt tip pen, and sometimes I do lines. Sometimes I just try to do minuscule dots to try to make it look like text. Because text is not always going to be the same. You know, you're going to have your passages and everything. Sometimes they're going to have symbols. So for this shin, I'm not sure what I'm going to write yet. And for this shoulder, I'm not sure what I'm going to write. I don't want to be basic with it, but I just might have to be. Just put, Obsidian or some shit. Which is, there's nothing wrong with it. And even people would say, oh, well, you can leave it blank. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, I guess, but it matters to me. I don't want it to just be blank. Just like I usually do it on the inside one. If you ever have two parchments like that, I'll write here, but then I'll also write right there. Because, why not? It's sticking out. Why wouldn't both have writing on it? But man, he looks pretty decent. Looks pretty decent. And with that being said, now we're going to move on to some transfers real quick, right? So we got our thinning solution, our microsol, and for my Obsidian sons, they are successors of the Sons of Magnus, as I've already stated. So we have 1,000 Suns sun logo. That is what we're going to be using. And we're getting out our Grinch cup. It is dehydrated, so put some water. And we're more or less ready to go. I just need my other tools. So, look at that. Isn't that cute? I put my own sticker on it. Yeah. I put my own sticker. Alright, that's enough. So, gonna need some tweezers. This is my style, mind you. A lot of other people don't like my style. And that's okay. I'm gonna get that sponge out too. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna get that sponge out. So, we need that. And we need my two brushes that I use for this. The water brush, the solution brush. Alright. Flip that motherfucker over. And I need to get out the Indominus Crusade logo because that was going to go right there. But last week or the week before, whatever, when I had this thing prepped, I had a bunch of transfers picked out. And they got scattered to the wind. Not that big a deal, but yeah, got scattered. So I'm having to attempt a lot of things here, or to try to remember what the fuck I even grabbed for him, so I could try to just recreate or get out the same ones again. All right, so this one's ready. Put a nice coat on them. And I did not use varnish to protect the model. Yo, this fucking thing is really starting to piss me off now. My tweezers, I mean. There we go. Because it wasn't grabbing it. All right, we need to get more or less centered. Woo! There we go. There we go. All right, and then. I know, I do things in such a painful manner to watch. Sigh. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I do love how that white looks on that. It's just so bright and beaming. And it looks real cool. But that's not what we're going to go with because that is not the tone of this Marine. Even though he's got plenty of bright stuff on him, I guess. But I also did decide what company he is a captain of. And naturally, with someone that I'm particularly excited about or proud of, depending. It depends on the lore. But for a lot of my favorite Marines or somebody that I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to be special for me, I will put them in the 6th company. Because I am Trooper 6, SYX, thank you. And come on, you motherfucker. All right. Honestly, it's because number 6 is my favorite. Couldn't exactly tell you why. Ever since I was a kid, the number 6 has always been my favorite. It's always felt like my number. Now go figure. Whenever I was in sports, I never actually had that number. I think my number in baseball ended up being 9. Which worked for me because you look down and it's 6. And I love that too. If you ever run out of company logos and you need a 6 or a 9, well, they are reversible, aren't they? All right. So we just need an Indominus Crusade logo there. And we're at 18 minutes. We got time. I'm going to run and get it. So we need all of our transfers that have that shit on it. Where is it? Where is it? All right, it's in this bag. All right, we need a good Indominus logo. I think that's too big. I want to say that's too big for it. But let's see. We're going to go with that. Yeah, it's probably too big. All right. So, not a problem. Let's get out our X-Acto knife and get out the smaller one anyway. All right. X-Acto blade. Engage. Did I want that one? There was a different one that I wanted. And I don't mean to kill so much time off for you guys. That's honestly not the Indominus logo I wanted. Huh. It's not, but whatever. I wanted one with more of the lightnings. Well, we ain't got it. And I can't remember which thing it's a part of right now, so it's whatever. This is probably just fine for the sizing. There's a easy little cheap way to tell that. Yep, it'll be just fine. And getting transfers does not need to be any more complicated than that. All right. So, let's do this. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's slap another layer on that 6 just to flatten it. Let's do the same here just to flatten it. All right. Because it's going to thin it out so that it will sit better on that thing. I am so fucking happy that I got one of these. And I want to test it out on like more difficult or more raised pieces and whatnot, because that solution will absolutely let it sink in. Woo! 2 different things. So you can put it on like a texture. All right. Oh. All right. Indomitus Crusade. Because this is exactly where you guys come from. Ooh. Oh my God. Look at that. Fucking nailed it. Fucking nailed it. I'm sorry, guys. Fucking nailed it. That was awesome. That felt good. That felt great. That felt grand. It felt wonderful. It felt so good that we're going to put on Sublime. Oh my God. Oh my God. That felt great. All right. And of course, I ruined it right there. Classic. It's just a matter of trying to get it back. That's good there. All right. Whew. My apologies, guys. Couldn't believe it. I got so excited. So excited that I fucking ruined it anyway. That's why we can't have nice things. My God. So, my dirty little trick for this logo, I'll just go ahead and show you. Do I need a black or do I want that black? I don't want that. All right. So, last step was we're going to get out Black Legion. Black Legion. And you're going to get out one of your favorite sharpest brushes. Get out the sharpest thing that you possibly could. All right. Because we're going to trace. And it's that simple. I say it's simple, but my hands are shaking. Okay, one thing I forgot about. So, after being a dork, we're going to let this dry. I might even hit it with a coat of varnish before we try that. But yes, that is the plan, is to paint that shoulder. We're going to let everything dry. All right. But he is basically more or less done. I'll figure out what to write there. Oof. I felt like that was almost anticlimactic. I don't know. Either way, I do want to thank every single one of you for dropping by. I thank you guys very much for requesting this Marine, requesting this chapter. That was awesome. That was real kick in the ass in a great way. It felt fucking great knowing that you guys wanted to see it. So, all right, here he is. I might even put a couple more transfers on his cape. But either way, I will see you guys on the next round. Please stay happy and healthy. If you guys have any more requests, by all means, ask away. All right? May the Void Father guide your brush, and watch out for the Obsidian Sons. Later.